Good morning, everyone. I will turn this over to Nathan in a moment, but I first wanted to say to those of you who were on masterclass with us yesterday, thank you for coming, and sorry about the big boot we all got. We did get a notice from Zoom that it was a Zoom issue. Good to know that we didn't do something wrong ourselves. So all you missed was a little bit of sitting at the end. So I just want to remind you that the next class is October 15th. So welcome, thank you for being here, and I'll turn it back over to Nathan.
Thanks so much, Menla. So good to see everybody, see many faces from that master class, which was so awesome to hear from the Lama. And up next is an opportunity October 1 for a day-long retreat. So we got the Lama for a couple hours yesterday, but a day-long opportunity to deepen our practice coming up October 1st. So check that out. I'll put the link to register into the chat here in a bit. And but without any further ado, I want to turn it over. I know we're all excited to have Kelley joining us to lead today. So Kelley, I'll let you take it away.
Thank you, Nathan. Good morning, everyone. Always so lovely to see all your faces, and always such an honor to be asked to teach when Lama is away. So thank you for being here and co-meditating with us all. I'm going to start today in a traditional way, semi-traditional way. I don't love rules, so we'll see how this goes. And we're really going to practice being together in a way that we remind ourselves why we're here. You know, why are there 50 people, 60 people on Zoom right now? What are we doing here? So a little bit of a preview of what's to come. But let's begin by just arriving and settling. And I'll begin with a singing bowl. So settle yourself in your seat. And today, we're going to kind of buck convention a little bit, which Lama Surya loves to do as well. I just want you to get comfortable. I'm not concerned about your posture. You can lie down. You can do whatever you need to do for you right in this moment without any expectation of how you show up. My only request is that you show up. And that can change and shift as we go throughout the hour. So just keep listening to what you need in the moment. Bow to the Buddha in your seat. Don't overlook them. And when we bow, that is what we're bowing to. We're bowing to our innate perfection. We're bowing to the innate perfection of all beings. We're bowing to the essence of what it is to be human. We're bowing to the light. So even as we go through some of these rituals, you get to choose what you're bowing to. You're not bowing to something outside of yourself, unless perhaps in this moment, that's all you can bow to. And then do that. Nathan, will you please turn to page 4? We're going to begin with the refuge in bodhicitta. Tanje chodong suki chuknam la jonchu pardu dakni kapsu chi daki jinso ki pe sonam ki drola penshir sangye drupar sho. In Buddha, Dharma, and supreme spiritual community, we go for refuge until fully enlightened. By the power of all six perfections, from generosity to non-dual wisdom, for the sake of all beings, may we realize Buddhahood. And to page 5, please, to the 4 Gampopas at the bottom. So the 4 Dharmas of Gampopa and Longchenpa, and I really want you to, you can chant along if you'd like, but I also invite you just to listen and to allow these words to wash over you. Bless and empower us that our minds and hearts turn toward the Dharma, turn toward the truth as it is. Bless and empower us that our Dharma practice becomes the path. Bless and empower us that the path truly dispels confusion. And bless and empower us that confusion itself dawns as primordial awareness or wisdom. So why are we here today? Why did you show up? Why did you take your Sunday morning to get on Zoom and be here with all of our Sangha mates? And I'm not going to answer that question for you right away. I want you just to pose it to yourself. Why am I here right now? Without making any of those answers wrong. There's no should. What are you seeking? What are we seeking? Why meditate? Why listen to Dharma teachings? From the Dzogchen point of view, I'm going to be reductive here, but at its basic essence, we're here to glimpse our Buddha nature. We're here to remember who we are at our deepest core, at our essence. We're here to utilize meditation as a tool to witness, to experience, to feel our Buddha nature. It's a tool to remove the obscurations, to help us cut through the conditioning that has led us to forget in some moments who we really are and what we're here for. And so if we can glimpse it, it's a miracle, right? And as we practice and as we sit and as we learn to be, that glimpse can extend. And as we call in those who can help us and support us, look around on your screen, right? We're all here in support of each other. We have our teachers and our gurus. And over time, if we're lucky, we begin to stabilize that. And if you go back to that third line of the 4 Gampopas, the 4 Dharmas of Gampopa, It's about living the Dharma more of the time, living into our true essence more of the time. It's about recognizing and knowing when we are and when we're not, without judgment or criticism, just with clarity. And so, you know, when most people are introduced to Buddhism, and I know many of you have been here for a long time, but I think it's always helpful to, again, remember, what are we doing here? What's the first word that comes to mind when people think of Buddhism? Suffering, right? Dukkha. And for the cynics, it's like, ugh, I don't want to practice Buddhism because all we focus on is suffering. All we focus on is the truth of suffering, is the truth of samsara, is the truth of dukkha. And that misses the point entirely. Yes, the First Noble Truth is, yep, there's suffering. So let's label it, let's call it what it is. It exists in this world. And what we're going to talk about today, and then work with and practice with, is what are the causes of suffering? What are the conditions of suffering? Yes, the first noble truth is that there's suffering, but the second noble truth is to discover what the causes are. So there's a word that I've been attached to, and I didn't say that unintentionally, and it's a Pali word, and the word is tana, and it means to crave. It means thirst. So at the basic essence, suffering is a longing. Suffering is a thirst. Suffering is a hunger. It's a desire for something to be other than what is. And on an elemental level, it affects our senses, right? So there's touch, taste, sound, sight, smell. And when we think about craving, when we think about longing, we're craving pleasure, we're seeking pleasure, whether that's through food or through a cup of hot tea, or through, we want the weather to be a particular way, or it's through sound. Maybe we prefer silence, maybe we prefer background noise. And so there's all these conditions around us that are ripe for suffering, because we can't control all the time what's happening. And that's a super bummer. Because wouldn't life be easy, but also wouldn't life be boring? And so at the most basic level, the way that we alleviate suffering is first acknowledging that it exists. And then it's investigating, it's discovering, it's looking into who or what is suffering. Who or what is causing the suffering? Who or what is clinging? You know, like this morning, I woke up and I was really looking forward to it being like it was yesterday. I woke up and it was like 56 degrees, and it was a clear sky, and I really wanted to sit outside and meditate. And I opened the door and it was muggy. And so I was immediately disappointed at the thing I couldn't control. And so I had a choice in that moment to cling to that attachment to, I wanted it to be cool and crisp and clear, or I could accept that it was muggy and warmer and stickier than I wanted it to be. So again, it's the thirst, the craving, it's the human condition. And so our role here isn't to eliminate craving, to eliminate longing. I believe that perhaps happens in an enlightened state. So if you've experienced that, I bow to you. But for us humans that are having a human experience, what Dzogchen teaches us is that it's to recognize that we are craving. It's to recognize this thirst. It's to recognize the origin of it, and then to relate to it in a different way. Relate to it in a way that is more from our pure essence. It's not to eliminate the craving altogether. It's like thinking we're going to meditate and eliminate thought. If you're sitting and meditating and trying to eliminate thought, it's going to be quite a frustrating sitting. And so if you try to go into life without experiencing clinging or longing or desire, because you think that'll eliminate all your suffering, I think you're going to be disappointed. So how do we be in the world where we are deluged with all these triggers, where we are deluged with who we aren't and who we want to be, what we do have that's not enough and what we don't have, how we look, how we feel? I mean, if you could name hundreds of different types of desires and cravings. And our mind believes, this is where the trouble comes in, our mind believes that it's its job to find solutions to these cravings. And that's where we start to follow the trigger. And that's when the trigger becomes an issue, is because we start to try to control it. We start to try to change it or change ourselves. And so the first truth is that our mind is not the solution to our problems. And so great, that's great intellectually. So now what? Now what do I do? This thing that I'm biologically programmed to do, this mind, this brain that I have is biologically programmed to seek pleasure and avoid pain. What do I now do with all the thoughts and solutions and great ideas it has to try to alleviate that suffering? And I would propose that this is what we're doing right now. We're sitting, we're practicing, we're investigating. One of my favorite pithy instructions of Lama, and it comes from the root of all Buddhism, is don't take my word for it. Investigate it yourself. And so today what we're going to do is a little bit of investigating of the source of suffering. So what I'd like you to do, if you'll indulge me, is get really comfortable. Get really comfortable in your seat. And I'm going to take you through a guided meditation to the best of my ability that gives you a glimpse of where the suffering is in your body and how you can work with it. So the first thing we need to do is just arrive. And notice you might even be having a thought that's saying, I don't want to do that. Or I do want to do that. And notice how we relate to that, right? It's insidious, it doesn't stop. Like you might have said, I wanted to talk about joy today because today is a hard day already. It's September 11th. Today is already a day of deep grief, of deep suffering, of deep loss. And I don't know that there's anything more or better or more honorable that we could be doing on this day than being together and being with our Buddha nature. So sit, arrive. When I say arrive, I'm going to be really specific. If you're sitting, feel your feet on the floor. Feel your seat on your seat. Feel the weight of your torso being held by your hips, being held by your legs. Feel the weight of your head being held by your neck. And as you breathe in, drop into that. Drop into your seat. Allow it to rise up to meet you. Allow it to support you. And really turn in and tune in to your body. What are you feeling in your fingertips right now? What are you feeling in your chest? Your breath may be open and easy. It may be tight and constricted. Notice where it is. And as you notice, begin to let go. Begin to open. Begin to settle. So let's do a little investigation, remembering that our minds have evolved to cling in order to keep us alive. And unfortunately, in doing so, it also further enhances our suffering. And so let's talk about different types of cravings that arise. And when I say the word, I just want you to do the best you can to feel it in your body. Desire. Notice where desire lives in your body in this moment only. Hunger. Grasping. And as you bear witness, try to pay attention to things like what feels unpleasant or what feels open, what feels tense or stressful. Where does your body contract? Where is your body at ease? Striving. What gets activated inside of you? Addiction. Righteousness. Where are you attaching to I am right and you are wrong? Where does that get you? Stuckness. And continue to deepen your breath, allowing it to flow into those places inside of you that are contracted, allowing it to expand in those places inside of you that are open and flowing. Notice if the desire, the craving, the thirst is inside of you or outside of you. Turn it inside out. Where does it originate? Is it yours? And if it is, where did it come from? Who are you without it? Dropping down, breathing deeply into your belly, into your hara. Taking a deep breath in and expanding your belly. Allowing the breath to drop and the heat to rise. Releasing. Noticing what releases. Who or what is releasing? Let that float by, let that thought float by. Who or what isn't releasing? Who or what is attaching, clinging, or sticking? Where is it? Breathing in deeply again into your belly. Feeling the heat drop and rise, holding. Dropping down, swallowing. Pushing your belly out. Pushing your belly button out. Until you can't any longer, and then releasing. Taking another natural breath. Feeling your body, feeling your essence. As Remy says, let go of thought. Don't take it into your heart. You are naked and thought is like ice. You use your thought to seek release from suffering and pain, while all the while thought is the cause of your suffering and pain. The realm of creation is outside the scope of thought. See the opus and behold the beauty of just being. Look in the direction from which the images flow. Closing your eyes now. Nothing to see and nothing to do. Allow your eyelids to rest. Just breathing. Just being. Relaxing and letting go. Where does the breath go when you let it go? Where do the thoughts go when they're gone? Not even holding on to that answer, just releasing and releasing, investigating and releasing. Breathing out. Breathing out until your body decides to breathe in on its own again. Feel it all. Open, aware, awake. Letting it all go. Looking into the darkness behind your eyelids to find the light within. Allowing the inner incandescence to shine through. The inner light to beam. Relaxing your gaze. Relaxing your breath. Relaxing your jaw. Flop and drop. Dropping all the way down into the root of the earth. Feel the weight, letting go. Breathing in to the light that never goes out, to the everlasting sun that is your truest nature. That is always there for you to access. Who or what is seeing the light? Who or what is aware? Empty, open, lucid, perfect in its natural state. Nothing to do and nowhere to go. Never alone. Notice if there's anything you need right now. And allow whatever is true to be true. Welcome to call anybody in. Or to just be as you are. Notice that if you did, they're always right there. Guru's right there, waiting to heed your call, holding you, loving you. Maybe you only need you and you're right there. Right there, showing up for you. Your Buddha nature, holding you and loving you. Relax into that truth. Relax a little more. Go a little deeper. Even if it's at the subtlest level. Open just a little more. Unwind, uncoil. Allowing the subtle energy to reach even further into your essence. To move through. Slow it all down. Stop your breath. Stop your mind. Rest at the still point, at the center. Be there. Aware of awareness. Slowly and gently turn awareness in on itself. Feel into it. Now open your eyes anew and reset your breath. Reset your body in whatever way you need. Eyes open, ears open, mouth open, everything open, heart open. relaxed and at ease and open. The invitation is to do what you need right now. I'm going to chant. You're welcome to chant along or to just sit and be and let it wash over you. Nathan, if you could turn to page 11 for us. Oh, my bad. Different page 11. We're going to Padmasambhava's path clearing. Thank you. Dusum Sanjay Guru Rinpoche Nudrup Kundak Dewa Chen Puja Barche Kunsel Dudu Draposel Sowadep Sojin Gilap Tu So Chinang Sangwei Barche Jiwadang Sampalunji Drupar Jinji Lo Dusum Sanjay Guru Rinpoche Nudrup Kundak Dewa Chen Poja Barche Kunsel Dudu Draposel Sowadep Sojin Jilap Tu So Chinang Sangwei Barche Jiwadang Sampalunji Drupar Jinji Lo. Precious guide, one with all the Buddhas of the three times, blissful presence and source of all spiritual accomplishments, fierce destroyer of illusion who dispels every obstruction, We pray to you for blessing, inspiration, and realization. Please remove all outer, inner, and secret obstacles and spontaneously fulfill our aspirations. Could you scroll down to page 13, please? Yeah, and we'll do the bodhicitta dedication at the bottom. We're just going to do this one in English. May the pure, brilliant sun of bodhicitta dawn in each and every heart and mind, dispelling the darkness of suffering and confusion unstoppably until all are illumined and awakened. And finally, we'll finish with Lama Surya's New Millennium Prayer. As we dedicate the merits of our practice. May all beings everywhere with whom we are inseparably interconnected and who want and need the same as we do, may they be awakened, liberated, healed, fulfilled, safe and free. May there be peace and harmony in this world and an end to war and violence, poverty and hunger, inequality and oppression, greed and cruelty, pandemics, famine, droughts, earthquakes, all kinds of natural disasters. May all be free from harm, danger, anxiety, and insecurity. May we better prepare ourselves for the natural calamities that beset us all. And may we all together complete the spiritual journey. One beloved community, one circle, one family, all the way home. So I invite you to ask questions, but I think today, more importantly, invite you to share anything you observed or experienced or what came up for you in a way that we can connect. So you can either raise your hand physically and we'll try to find you and Nathan will unmute you, or you can put a question or a sharing in the chat and Nathan will share it. Yes, David. One second, we're unmuting you here.
Yes, thank you so much, David, bowing in. I found the guided meditation so powerful, particularly in locating my cravings, my anxieties, and be able to go in depth physically to that place in me, and then to have you take me further into the origination of the, let's just call them emotions, feelings. Thank you so much. May all of you be blessed today in your day.
Thank you for sharing. Beautiful. Diana, not sure where she is on your screen, Dave. Nathan, she's on page 2 for me.
Hello. Thank you for the meditation. It was incredible. I have a question about the breath that you guided us through, the one where we kind of drop the inhale down into the belly and push the belly out and then exhale out through the mouth. If you could just talk about that a little bit, like what was that about?
Yeah, great question. Thank you. So I'm borrowing from the 6 yogas here, and Menla is probably more suited to speak to it, but I'll do my best. So one of the practices that we do on retreat is, this is our yoga in Dzogchen. So it's not an asana yoga, it's a breath yoga. And that particular breath is a belly breath in which we're clearing our central channel. So as we breathe in, and breathe down into our central channel, into our hara, into our root chakra. And we build heat there. And as we build the heat, and this is going to be a super simple question, a super simple answer to your question. But as you build the heat and hold it, and there's a few other techniques that I didn't bring into this practice, but you can pull up and hold, and you can swallow and push it down. And as you do that, it generates that inner heat, that inner energy. And then as you breathe out, it clears the channel and opens. So it just opens us to the sort of the here and now. And there's a few postures that precede that, allowing us to clear the left and the right channels, and then clear the central channel and build heat. And we go through the posture. So if you're able to join us on retreat, either Menla or Drew or Alex, there's a number of our yoga teachers here that take us through that practice. And it's really a wonderful way to start the day. But even if you just do that, Diana, just that one breath, I do that a lot just to start my day when I don't have time for the rest of it. It can be very helpful. Thank you for the question. Anything to add there, Menla? Okay. Thank you. Anyone else have something they'd like to share or a question they'd like to ask? I don't know if anything came up in the chat, Nathan.
Go ahead, Julia.
Hi. During the beginning of the meditation talk, where in our body, addiction, desire, yeah, I felt like in my body they were all like in the same place. Like I felt it in my throat and my chest mostly, and one of the ones toward the end that dropped into my hips. I think maybe I want to do this meditation more, and maybe I can specify. But it was interesting that I felt like, wow, is it all the same thing? Like, is that it's all craving? So it was very powerful for me, and thank you so much. I've never done anything like that. It was very powerful and beautiful, and something that I want to follow up with. So thank you very much.
You're so welcome. And I think you're answering your own question there, or like just keep investigating that. And for those of you who don't know, all of these Sunday town halls, all of the teachings are recorded and posted on the Dzogchen Center website. So if there's ever any guided meditation or teaching you want to go back to, so for Julia, in this case, if you want to practice this, but you're like, I don't know how to, you can go back to this recording and follow it however often you want. And that's a gift of the Dzogchen Foundation. They are all there. It's beautiful. So thank you.
Well, Kelley, I think we've reached the finish line.
Wonderful. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Kelley. What a wonderful, I'm seeing lots of chats. Thanking you. Matching my own impression. What a wonderful sitting. I posted into the chat a registration link for the day-long retreat, but as Kelley mentioned, just checking out dzogchen.org. There's a lot of cool stuff there available to you, including the ability to become a member, donate, check out readings that are available for members only, etc. So check that out. So good to see you all. Have a great Sunday. Take care, everybody.
Thank you, Nathan.
Kelley.